To check the free play of manual slack adjusters on S-cam brakes, you should A. Park on level ground, chock the wheels, and release the parking brakes. B. Stop on level ground and apply the parking brakes. C. Park on level ground and drain off air pressure before adjusting. D. Park on a slight grade, release the parking brake, apply the service brakes, and check for vehicle movement. The correct answer is A. Park on level ground, chock the wheels, and release the parking brakes. You should know that your brakes are fading when A. Pressure on the brake pedal is released and speed increases. B. You have to push harder on the brake pedal to control your speed on a downgrade. C. The brake feels spongy when pressure is applied. D. Less pressure is needed on the brake pedal for each stop. The correct answer is B. You have to push harder on the brake pedal to control your speed on a downgrade. Air loss in a straight truck or bus should not be more than, with the engine off and the brakes released, A. 1 psi in 30 seconds. B. 1 psi in 1 minute. C. 2 psi in 1 minute. D. 3 psi in 1 minute. The correct answer is C. 2 psi in 1 minute. The driver must be able to see a warning that is given before air pressure in the service air tanks falls below A. 80 psi. B. 40 psi. C. 20 psi. D. 60 psi. The correct answer is D. 60 psi. When driving down a long steep hill, you should A. Use stab braking. B. Begin braking when you are 10 mph above your safe speed. C. Release the brake when you are 5 mph below your safe speed. D. Use the trailer brakes. The correct answer is C. Release the brake when you are 5 miles per hour below your safe speed. If your vehicle has an alcohol evaporator, every day during cold weather you should A. Clean the air filter with alcohol. B. Check and fill the alcohol level. C. Change the alcohol from a new bottle. D. Check the oil for alcohol content. The correct answer is B. Check and fill the alcohol level. During normal driving, spring brakes are usually held back by A. Spring pressure. B. Bolts or clamps. C. Centrifugal force. D. Air pressure. The correct answer is D. Air pressure. If your vehicle has an alcohol evaporator, it is there to A. Reduce the risk of ice in air brake valves in cold weather. B. Eliminate the need for daily tank draining. C. Rid the wet tank of alcohol that condenses and sits at the bottom. D. Boost tank pressure the same way that superchargers boost. The correct answer is A. Reduce the risk of ice in air brake valves in cold weather. In air brake vehicles, the parking brakes should be used A. To hold your speed when going downhill. B. Whenever the vehicle is parked. C. As little as possible. D. Only during pre- and post-trip inspections. The correct answer is B. Whenever the vehicle is parked. A straight truck or bus air brake system should not leak at a rate of more than psi per minute with the engine off and the brakes released. A. 4 psi. B. 3 psi. C. 2 psi. D. 1 psi. The correct answer is C. 2 psi. Air braking takes more time than hydraulic braking because air brakes A. Need to have airflow through the lines to work. B. Use different brake drums. C. Require heavier return springs. D. All of the above. The correct answer is A. Need to have airflow through the lines to work. Your truck or bus has a dual air brake system. If a low air pressure warning comes on for only one system, what should you do? A. Reduce your speed and drive to the nearest garage for repairs. B. Continue at normal speed and find a garage before the brakes lock. C. Reduce your speed and test the remaining system while underway. D. Stop. Safely park and continue only after the system is fixed. The correct answer is D. Stop. Safely park and continue only after the system is fixed. The brake pedal in an air brake system. A. Is to be used as a footrest during normal driving. B. Controls the speed of the air compressor. C. Controls the air pressure applied to put on the brakes. D. Is connected to slack adjusters by a series of rods and linkages. The correct answer is C. Controls the air pressure applied to put on the brakes. If you must make an emergency stop, you should brake so that you A. Use the full power of the brakes and lock them. B. Can steer hard while braking hard. C. Stay in a straight line and can steer. D. Use the hand brake first. The correct answer is C. Stay in a straight line and can steer. If your truck or bus has dual parking control valves, it means that you can use pressure from a separate tank to A. Balance the service brake system. B. Release the spring brakes to move a short distance. C. Stay parked without using up service air pressure. D. Apply more brake pressure if the main tank is getting low. The correct answer is B. Release the spring brakes to move a short distance. The proper way to go down long grades is to A. Use a low gear and push hard on the brakes. B. Let up on the brakes from time to time to cool them. C. Use a low gear and apply constant, light pressure on the brakes. D. Apply brakes just hard enough to reduce speed to 5 mph below safe speed, then release until back to safe speed and repeat process. The correct answer is D. Apply brakes just hard enough to reduce speed to 5 miles per hour below safe speed. Then release until back to safe speed and repeat process. You should avoid using the parking brake. A. On steep hills. B. If the air pressure is low. C. When the brakes are hot. D. Anytime you park. The correct answer is C. When the brakes are hot. An application pressure gauge. A. Shows how much air pressure you are applying to the brakes. B. Is connected to the generator. C. Releases air when you accelerate. D. Prevents brake failure. The correct answer is A. Shows how much air pressure you are applying to the brakes. All vehicles with air brakes are required to have a low pressure warning signal. This could be A. A red light. B. A wig-wag mechanical arm. C. A buzzer. D. Any one of the above. The correct answer is D. Any one of the above. To test your service brakes, you should A. Stop the vehicle and put the parking brake on. B. Release the parking brake, move forward slowly and depress brakes. C. Put parking brake on and release air pressure. D. Depress brakes when traveling at highway speeds. The correct answer is B. Release the parking brake, move forward slowly and depress brakes. Air brakes take longer to stop than hydraulic brakes because A. The reaction time is longer for the driver. B. It takes longer for the air to flow through the lines. C. The linings get hotter more quickly. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. It takes longer for the air to flow through the lines. Which type of brake is the most common in commercial vehicles? A. Wedge brakes. B. Disc brakes. C. S-cam brakes. D. Drum brakes. The correct answer is C. S-cam brakes. When you apply pressure to the brake pedal, you are A. Putting on the brakes. B. Releasing air pressure to the brakes. C. Reducing air in the tanks. D. Activating the safety valve. The correct answer is A. Putting on the brakes. Stab braking occurs when you A. Press on the brake pedal all the way. B. Release the brakes when the wheels lock up. C. Apply the brakes when the wheels start rolling. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. The air compressor is connected to the engine through A. Gears. B. Hoses. C. V-belt. D. Gears or a V-belt. The correct answer is D. Gears or a V-belt. The air compressor governor controls A. When air is pumped into the air tanks. B. Air pressure applied to the brakes. C. The speed of the air compressor. D. When the brake chambers release pressure. The correct answer is A. When air is pumped into the air tanks. What can legally hold a parking or emergency brake in position for a truck, tractor, or bus? A. Fluid pressure. B. Air pressure. C. Spring pressure. D. Any of the above. The correct answer is C. Spring pressure. Modern air brake systems combines three different systems. They are the service brakes, the parking brakes, and the A. S-cam brakes, B. Drum brakes, C. Foot brakes, D. Emergency brakes. The correct answer is D. Emergency brakes. The application pressure gauge shows the driver how much pressure A. has been used on the trip, B. is in the air tanks, C. is being applied to the brakes, D. none of these. The correct answer is D. is being applied to the brakes. Which of the following makes the total stopping distance for air brakes longer than that for hydraulic brakes? A. Brake lag distance, B. Action distance, C. Perception distance, D. Effective braking distance. The correct answer is A. Brake lag distance. Why drain water from the compressed air tanks? A. To keep from fouling the air compressor oil. B. Water can freeze in cold weather and cause brake failure. C. The low boiling point of water reduces braking power. D. Water overcools the compressor. The correct answer is B. Water can freeze in cold weather and cause brake failure. Of the choices below, the first thing to do when a low air pressure warning comes on is A. Open the air supply control valve, B. Adjust the brake pedal for more travel, C. Stop and safely park as soon as possible, D. Upshift. The correct answer is C. Stop and safely park as soon as possible. Air brake equipped vehicles must have A. A supply pressure gauge, B. An air use gauge, C. At least 2 brake heaters, D. A backup hydraulic system. The correct answer is A. A supply pressure gauge. The braking power of the spring brakes. A. Can only be tested by highly trained brake service people. B. Depends on the adjustment of the service brakes. C. Increases when the service brakes are hot. D. Is not affected by the condition of the service brakes. The correct answer is B. Depends on the adjustment of the service brakes. Oil and water usually collect in compressed air tanks. If you do not have an automatic tank drain, when should you drain the air tanks? A. After every working day. B. After every 4 hours of service. C. Once a week. D. Every other week. The correct answer is A. After every working day.